An indie brand pointed out the similarities between their product design and Nikita Dragun's design, but Nikita claps back, and James Charles announces a controversial collab. Welcome to Reality, a segment where we report on multiple stories in a single video. Before I get into the tea, I just want to put out a disclaimer. Please do not send any hate to Nikita Dragun, James Charles, or anyone else involved in these stories. This video is simply meant to report on the news. On July 28th, indie beauty brand Opalescent Beauty tweeted about a new product from Nikita Dragun's brand, Dragun Beauty. The struggles of being an indie brand. It took us a year to get our hands on the perfect component, one that made us stand out and aligned with our vision. Although it's possible Nikita Dragun has never seen our products due to her platform will look like the imitation. In the photos attached to the tweet, Opalescent Beauty compared the component for their lip glosses and the component for Dragun Beauty's Dragon Glass. One person replied to the tweet, "I have actually been in the labs whipping up my own products, and they have both of these stock components available. I actually almost went with the one Nikita used for lip gloss, but passed it up." Opalescent Beauty replied, "We actually make our own products as well. That's why we didn't start with lashes or anything that comes from a manufacturer. That's also why you can't a gloss formula like ours anywhere. We spent the money on our formula, but took forever to choose the right component." Some people saw these tweets and pointed out that Opalescent Beauty had used a stock component for their lip glosses. So it was a stock component? Sorry, but if you want an original component, you should probably design your own. It's really not fair to complain someone else used the same stock as you when you know full well it's going to be available to anyone else who inquires. Y'all use the stock component available to virtually any makeup brand and complaining that someone stole from you. Make that make sense. Opalescent Beauty replied to one of the tweets, "Can you find us where we said someone stole from us, please? We'd like to correct that immediately if it's out there. Our concern was to look like imitation of a larger influencer-owned brand. Does it make a little more sense now?" In an interview with commentary Twitter account Def Noodles, Opalescent Beauty said they didn't want to look like copycats. "We released our lip gloss January 2020. We would like to clarify that we never want to make a direct claim that she stole or copied us only because we have no way of truly knowing that, but we do know we were the first in the business to use crystal-shaped components for our lip products, and no one has done it until now. We are just concerned that now that someone with such a large platform has used it, we are going to look like copycats." The brand also spoke about spending a year making sure they weren't copying another brand with their lip gloss component. "We did our due diligence, which took us a year, to make sure we wouldn't be copying any other brands, so with someone that has a platform her size, it seems a little irresponsible. We reversed image searched and literally scoured the lip gloss hashtag on Twitter and IG for a year to make sure we were in the clear when we got our component." When Def Noodles asked if Opalescent Beauty had anything to say to Nikita, the brand wrote, "We know that sometimes you can get caught in the excitement when launching a new product, but you've been in the beauty community long enough to have seen this happen over and over, and see indie brands get pushed aside. Did you do any research for your component before choosing it? Did you even care what it was? Our whole brand is based off of crystal and crystal magic. Our component means the world to us. We're not huge yet, so this is our only source of income that's our own. It just hurts to feel like we work so hard not to step on anyone's toes joining the beauty community, but our concept can be swept out from under us with no regard. If we had money to make custom components, we would have, but unfortunately we don't." On July 31st, Nikita quote-tweeted Opalescent Beauty and responded, "I'm gonna have to disagree with you. The overall vibe is completely different. Never heard of your brand before today. Being a CEO of an indie brand myself, I understand there are many products in the industry that look the same due to stock packaging. Wish you the best in your business." For context, brands have the option to create a new component, which takes a lot of time, money, and raises the price of the product, or choose from already existing components the manufacturer has created. Then the brand customizes it in a way to make it different. Opalescent Beauty replied, "Hi Nikita, we're huge fans of what you do for the trans community, and we'll never get the opportunity to say that to you other than now, so we would like to start by saying that. Our concern was for the concept of crystal or glass-shaped lip products. We were hoping to make it big before anyone larger would pick it up so we can remanufacture it as our own when the money became available. Our main concern was to look like imitation because we're a smaller brand. Like most small brands do when they first launch, we were just proud to be the only ones with our component. We wish you and your brand the best as well." The brand also made a thread addressing the situation. We understand how hard celebrity stans ride for their celebrities. In this case, Nikita Dragun, we never stated Nikita copied us. We, in fact, said there's a good chance she's never seen our brand. Our concern was looking like an imitation because we're smaller. We're seeing a lot of hate in our mentions, and we're not about that. We built our brand on love, inclusivity, and family. We understand you feel the need to attack us for some strange reason, but we won't be responding to hate. We're open to interacting with our OPB family, and anyone that has any questions, thank you. With love, OPB. Some people said Nikita's brand was on a different level compared to most other indie brands. Here's the thing, you have a massive platform. You have the upper hand. You aren't a small indie company that is struggling for a spot in an oversaturated market. You were given a spot. And instead of saying, hey, I get it guys, but I chose a component that matches my brand's aesthetic, this was a cost-effective way for me to sell my products and keep price down, which makes perfect sense, you pulled this and let your stans, that you know have a history of attacking people for you, rip into them, which is the exact same Jeffree Star pulls. Your brand is an indie, Nikita. You have massive platform and launched an influencer brand. There is a huge difference. A few people debated on whether Nikita actually had an indie brand. She is an indie brand because it isn't a huge company-owned brand like Too Faced or Morphe. She owns her brand and pays for everything out of her pocket. Her huge platform comes from her also being a YouTuber and an Instagram model, kinda sorta. That's not the definition of an indie brand, sis. Means she's an independent brand without a bunch of sponsors backing her. No matter how many sales she gets, she 100% owns her company, she pays for everything out of her own pocket, and she runs the company's CEO. She's indie. 1. You aren't an indie brand. You didn't start from the bottom and do everything yourself. You pay others to get done for you. Second, they look the exact same, expect the shaping at the bottom. Regardless, if you never heard of their brand, how ignorant are you to say this? In replies to other people, Opalescent Beauty clarified why they made their initial post. For us, this component means the world because it matches our spiritual belief as well. Most people didn't even read our main tweet. Nikita responded as if we blatantly accused her, and that's exactly how her stans reacted, as if we had the power to do anything about it. We literally just said we wanted to make it big so we can manufacture our own component, before it became mainstream. Just like that, within a day of Nikita posting hers, Winky Lux came out with the same component. There are plenty of crystal lip components. We were just the first indie brand that we knew of to use it. That was it. There's no proof that Nikita or her brand stole their design, and because both Opalescent Beauty and Dragun Beauty use stock components, it seems like the similar designs are coincidences. It doesn't look like Opalescent Beauty was accusing Nikita of outright stealing their design to begin with, but the unclear wording made it easy for others, including Nikita, to take their words out of context. It's easy to understand why a small independent brand would feel like they would be seen as the copycat, especially when they came out with their product first. And it's also understandable for Nikita to be immediately defensive when she thought Opalescent Beauty was accusing her of theft. In an unclear situation, it's important for everyone to take a step back and think about what is being said before reacting. Do you think Nikita should have used a different component, or is Opalescent Beauty taking the situation too personally? On August 1st, James Charles posted a Snapchat story announcing a future collab with singer and rapper Doja Cat. For context, on July 24th, Doja Cat said she had contracted the virus but has since recovered. James was also under scrutiny for attending a large birthday party at the Hype House during quarantine earlier in July. Some people were concerned that influencers and celebrities would use a diagnosis to get views. When influencers get sick from doing dumb, selfish like this, and I hope no one gets severely ill, I refuse to watch any of their videos, either documenting them being sick or I almost died, or however they want to use it. Unless it is a 1 or 2 minute video saying I'm a idiot and I need a timeout, I don't give a And this is not just about James Charles, it's any of them who didn't follow guidelines and practice social distancing and isolation. In my eyes, they not only don't deserve my views, attention, support, but they actively went out of their way to say you to every one of their fans that they are so thankful for. People around us are dying. Not literally dying because of the pigmentation or formula, they are ceasing to live. Dead, gone forever. We can't be with them in hospital, we can't comfort them, we can't go to their funerals. I can already see the titles like, doing my makeup while dying, Others said they shouldn't put other people at risk for their bad choices. Girl, after that party he went to, he probably has it too. If neither of them want to take the situation seriously, they can be sick together. They just better not put anyone else at risk while they're at it. A few people pointed out how Austin McBroom from the Ace family appeared to visit James in his home on the same day without wearing a mask. Can they seriously not stay home? Here's screenshots from Austin McBroom's Snapchat with him visiting other influencers, James included, wearing that exact same outfit. I hate Austin, but his children are innocent in this situation, and I hate seeing this selfish father possibly get those kids sick. It's so incredibly selfish. If he can't care for himself, the least he could do is care about his daughters. You'd think a parent with a newborn would be a million times more cautious in a pandemic. In a state with the highest numbers, all after a whole group of influencers were called out for breaking quarantine. Several people called James out for being a hypocrite. James apologized for going to a party and still does collabs. These influencers are pissing me off. My biggest question is, optics? Did Dude not learn from literally a few days ago that people are not going to be cool with this? If he really couldn't put it together himself, didn't someone on his PR management team say something? I mean, this concept had to have been passed by several eyes and ears. I'm just baffled from a PR standpoint that he or anyone involved with him would allow him to pull this shit again, right after apologizing for it. And some people said he should be a better role model. I'm confused at why he just can't be a good role model. He is actively just collabing with people in videos for months and clearly isn't social distancing or wearing a mask in the videos. His young fans will be easily influenced by him. Ugh. When I watched his long nails video today, I was shocked. I felt so bad for the nail tech who was wearing a mask because James couldn't be bothered to put one on. Then he had a sneaker guy show up and they were all still maskless. Then he got in his car to go to Chick-fil-A and put a mask on in the car, the place where he needed it the least. Do people think the virus can't get into a home unless it's invited in? It's a virus, not a vampire. And to be doing all of that on video that he posted online exposing himself is just so mind-blowing to me. It's hard not being able to see other people during quarantine, whether it's for personal or professional reasons, but it's important to limit social contact, wear a mask, and practice social distancing, especially when you have an audience watching. Do you think the collab with Doja Cat is a good idea? What do you think about these stories? Let me know in the comments below.